Welcome to our official lesson here on introducing like terms in the distributive property. We've seen it a little bit before in the activity that we did, but we wanted to take a little more of an in-depth look. Now, for those of you that weren't here going back through this, I'm not going to do every single even, because that's what our notes are, and the odds are homework, but I'm going to do quite a few just to kind of go back over a few things. So again, as we mentioned before, we're going to try to circle or underline terms that are alike, and the symbols in front of the terms matter, the plus or the minus. For instance, see, I almost did one. That'd have been nice, but I'm not that nice. Here, we do want to put ones in front of our variable terms that we don't see a coefficient in front of, just to remind us. So 1 plus 8 plus 2, because they all have x's, is 11x, and I'm good to go. But what we're talking about in the parentheses up above, for instance, is when we get to a problem like 4. 4a minus 7a, or plus negative 7a. If I have $4, I borrow 7 to my friend, now I'm $3 in the hole. Hope they pay me back. My b's, I got 3b plus 1b is 4b, and I can't combine the a's and the b's because they're different. Okay, it's kind of like an apples and oranges type of thing. Same idea with 6. Remember what we talked about before about degree order. Take the largest exponent ones first. 2 and 11 gives me 13x squared. 8 minus 5 is 3x, and we're good. And we've talked about this before, but it's good to go over things multiple times, just in case, because we always need that extra little reminder to help us out. Okay, distributing, again, whatever's on the outside gets multiplied by each term on the inside. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6, don't forget your t. Negative times positive is always negative. And again, this has t, this doesn't. I can't combine those. I can't make this like negative 18t. Will not work, will not work, will not work. If it's a negative, just distribute the negative. Positive becomes negative, negative becomes positive, and we're good. Hey, don't make this any more complicated than we have to. 14, we talked about this before. We have 3, but n times n is n squared. That's the only time we're going to mess with a variable on this, mess with the base at all. So we have variable times variable. N times negative 4 is negative 4n. Again, this has squared, this doesn't. We're done. So just kind of be careful as you're working through types like this to make sure we're going good. Now we're going to flip over. Try not to get dizzy when we flip over here. Okay, and as we start to look at some of these, we're like, okay, we're seeing a lot of the same things over and over and over again. But again, just as a reminder, you don't see a coefficient in front, we're going to put one there. We're going with the largest exponent first. 8x and 1x is 9x. We're keeping life simple. Okay, distributing, we've done quite a bit of it too. But again, let's just be positive here. This 8 would multiply through. 8 times 2 is 16y. 8 times negative 7 is negative 56, and we're done. But then some of you start looking down below, and you're like, ooh, I see fractions. I see decimals. Ugh. No fear, no fear. Number 30. You're like, well, what am I going to do with this 1/3? I don't like fractions even. Okay, what's up with this? 1/3 is the same thing as dividing by 3. You want 1/3 of it. You want 1/3 of the pizza. Okay, we divide it into 3 pieces. So if I see something like this, I'm just going to distribute, and it's going to seem weird, but I'm almost going to divide instead. So 6 divided by 3 would be 2n. 15 divided by 3 would be 5t. And I'm done. Don't make this difficult, okay? And again, if you weren't in class, you want to get there every time you can so you can get all of them. But if you do have some questions, let me know and we'll get you helped out with this. Have a good day.